Hello, my name is Ray Kassar. I have been a practicing criminal defense attorney for the last 33 years, and I wanted to spend some time with you just giving you some tips as to what to do if you get pulled over for drunk driving. Drunk driving is probably one of the most common criminal offenses in most states, and unfortunately, many of you and your friends might end up having the unfortunate experience of getting pulled over for drunk driving. So here's some tips to deal with that. The officer is going to want to engage you in a conversation. He's going to ask you questions such as, where are you coming from? Where are you going? How many drinks have you had tonight? The purpose of doing that is to determine whether or not he can smell the odor of intoxicants coming from your body. Generally, they're going to be able to smell it, or they're going to be able to suspect that there's a slurred speech. He's going to ask you to exit the vehicle and perform a series of field sobriety tests. Those are pretty simple tests, but not to a person who is highly intoxicated. He might have you count backwards from 100 to 83. He might have you recite the ABCs, not sing them. He will have you walk a straight line. He will administer these tests in order to get probable cause that, in fact, you are under the influence of an intoxicating beverage. With respect to the arrest itself, once you are arrested, the most important thing I can tell you to do is be polite. Now, that might be counterintuitive because you're angry, you're embarrassed, you're afraid of what's going on, but you've got to take some deep breaths and just be polite. Remember that these officers want to get you processed and out of their station as quickly as they can, especially if you are polite. If you're belligerent, or you want to fight with them, or you want to cause trouble, they're going to keep you there as long as they possibly can. Once at the station, here is the most important thing that's going to happen. He's going to request that you undertake a chemical breath test. That is blowing in a breathalyzer, a machine that will measure the amount of alcohol in your lungs. Now, there's this myth that's been going on for a long time that is, don't take the breath test. That is nonsense. The only reason you would ever consider not taking the breath test is if you've had 3 or 4 prior drunk drivings and you really don't care about your license anyways. It is important to take this breath test for many reasons. Number one, if you don't take it, they're going to get a search warrant. That search warrant is for your blood. That blood search warrant will reveal a very accurate blood alcohol content. But in addition to that, that blood test is going to show if you've been using any marijuana, any opiates, any Adderall, or any other drugs that have not been prescribed for you. So the bottom line is, take that test. There's no sense in losing your license for a full year by refusing it. That just simply doesn't make sense. Finally, as you're sitting in the jail cell, they will allow you to make a phone call. My advice to you is to call someone that has the sufficient funds to bond you out. On a first offense, it shouldn't be an unruly amount of money, but I would call a friend that is able to post that bond. The last thing you want to do is, when you finally get home, you want to talk to a good lawyer, a lawyer that does these kinds of cases. Most good lawyers will be happy to share their experience and their knowledge. And the more they talk to you and answer your questions, the better it is for you, because the more knowledge you have, the less fear you have. And that's what this is really all about. So if there's any other questions or concerns, please feel free to email me. I am always happy to respond, and I hope these tips have been helpful. Thank you.